You see proud families, friends and neighbors, sharing gifts and helping hands. We're people helping people, and we're proud that we can say we're always getting better and growing stronger every day. Taking pride in Mobile, haven't you noticed? We've got it all right here at home. Nothing can stop us.
Taking pride in Mobile, taking pride in Mobile. Come on, let your spirit show. Taking pride in Mobile, we're growing, shining, winning, so we're taking pride in Mobile. We're old, we're young, we're fast and slow, and we love watching our future grow. Let's tell the world so they will know, and we're taking pride in Mobile. And wherever I may go, I'll tell them I come Mobile. We're old, we're young, fast and slow, and we love watching our future grow. Let's tell the world so they will know, and we're taking pride in Mobile. And wherever I may go, I'll tell them I'm from Mobile. Taking pride in Mobile, taking pride in Mobile.
I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't take dope or have affairs. Just call me square, 'cause I don't care. I won't do the things I don't believe in. I don't care about impressing your friends. Don't care about fitting in the crowd. I'll say it one time and I'll say it loud. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't take dope or have affairs. Just call me square, 'cause I don't care. I won't do the things I don't believe in. I don't care about impressing your friends. Don't care about fitting in the crowd. I'll say it one time and I'll say it loud. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't take dope or have affairs. Just call me square, 'cause I don't care. Complain, complain, complain. You're always the same. You will never change. All you do is complain. You complain about the things I cook. You complain about the way I look. You complain about the clothes I wear. And you don't like my hair. You complain because I don't work. You say I'm a no-good jerk. And then I go to work and you go berserk. Complain, complain, complain. You're always the same. You will never change. All you do is complain.
Don't draw conclusions, because if you do...
This is
you're gonna
News
be wrong.
Radio 710, WNTM. From the Spring Hill Toyota Traffic Center.
Heavy congestion west on I-10. Crews remain on the scene of a crash at the Melbus exit. All traffic on I-10 West is being diverted to the Melbus exit. Watch for an accident, Fairfield Drive at North V Street in Pensacola. I'm Lisa Baque. Follow us on X, Total Traffic Gulf Coast.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. The once-a-year sale and clearance is here. Upgrade today with Mattress Firm's quality selection of top brands. Let their sleep experts find the perfect bed to help transform your nights. They make sleep easy.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
The Uncle Henry Show, weekday afternoons from 5 till 7.
You know, buddy, you and I go back quite a long ways now. And we both made it. Uncle Henry, Happy New Year to you, buddy. Love you, man. I love you, man. Happy New Year to you, little bit, your dog, Gerda, your whole family, your beautiful sister, the one you watches Dancing with the Stars at, over to her house. I hope everything go your way today. Just imagine, 2 pioneers, Uncle Henry and the I Love Hillary Clinton guy, made it. There's so many of us out here not say this because we didn't make it. But for the ones that did not make it, please, my condolences to your family. Rest in peace.
Message deleted.
This is the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Yes, I'm here, live. I am still alive. Thank you, Lord. Yes, Uncle Henry Show underway here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Once again, here we are together, me and you. It's me and you here trying to figure out what is going on. What is going on? What is going on in the world around us? You know, it's getting more difficult. It is. It's getting more difficult to figure out what's going on, and that's why I'm glad that you can help me understand it. Telephone number here for the Uncle Henry Show, 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. That's unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. Also, you can listen, of course, on News Radio 710 WNTM, or you can watch just me standing here at the microphone on YouTube. Just go to the Uncle Henry Show YouTube channel, and here I am, struggling as I continue forward in 2026. Now, before I get into anything, that message I played at the beginning, offering condolences for those that didn't make it, I'd like to offer all my condolences for all the people caught in the traffic this afternoon. You got your first Monday of 2026, if I understand how a calendar works correctly. I believe it's the first Monday of 2026. And you have this traffic nightmare over in Baldwin County. I-10, Malbus, Daphne, Spanish Ford, all the ripple effects, all the domino effects of all this with the interstate closed down at Malbus westbound. I was looking at this traffic jam. Yeah, it's a traffic jam big enough that I noticed it while I was at work, not driving anywhere. And as I was looking at it, I was just thinking about how when I was a child, way back in the days where we just would sit around and for fun, we would just throw dirt at each other. Back then, we all imagined, all of us little kids, we imagined that we wouldn't have these traffic jams in 2026 because we would all be in flying cars, just like in the science fiction movies, the Jetsons. We just thought that would happen. And I thought, for a day like today, with this horrible interstate wreck and the interstate being shut down, I got to thinking how flying cars wouldn't help. They wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. Flying cars wouldn't solve this. Flying cars wouldn't solve this because if we had flying cars right now, you know it would be an absolute disaster because people would be riding around up in the sky trying to post on Facebook or something, and they'd be crashing into mountains and the biggest difference with flying cars is they'd start landing on top of us. Those of us that couldn't afford a flying car would get crushed by one. I'm glad we don't have flying cars. Yes, I am. I got that realization today, just that realization, that insight came into my mind. I'm glad we don't have flying cars because the people would be distracted and they'd be landing on my head. They'd be crushing me probably. There'd probably be a vehicle parked right in this studio right now because somebody would have crashed into the side of the building by now. And it also brings me back to the older technology that wouldn't be that way, and that would be blimps. If we just had more blimp travel, even personal blimps and stuff like that, even if you're distracted, no big deal. No big deal with the blimp, really. You don't have to worry as much about a blimp hitting you. But anyway, here we are. It's 2026. And so much going on. So much in the news nationally, internationally, in the state of Alabama, all that to talk about. If you'd like to call in about a topic, if you want to bring something up, telephone number 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. I do want to say that I did make a New Year's resolution that I'm going to try to keep, and it's going to be tough, but I'm really working on it. And my New Year's resolution is to control my tongue while watching college football games. That is my New Year's resolution, to control my tongue while watching college football games. Because as nice as I try to be, as good a person as I endeavor to be on this show for you, trying to make this show as pure as it can be, I want this show to be I want it to be family friendly enough that 90-something-year-old women over the age of 90 can listen to this and not be scandalized by it. That they can listen to it and it won't harm the delicate sensibilities of women raised in an earlier time. And as much as I endeavor to do that, when I watch these college football games, like, let me pick one at random as an example. Let's say, I don't know, Alabama, Indiana. Just picking that one at random. When I watch those games, my tongue, it's so bad. It's almost like I had served in the Merchant Marine. Yes, it's the cussing, and I apologize for even admitting this, the cussing that can come out of my mouth during a college football game. You know, it was a couple of days after the Alabama-Indiana game. Speaking of that, a couple of days before the dog was so traumatized, the dog went under the bed, didn't want to come out. In fact, for a while, we couldn't even turn the TV on because the dog was afraid that I'd start cussing again and was hiding under the bed. So that is my New Year's resolution, is to better control my tongue while watching college football games. I don't want to say things that can traumatize animals and people. All right, back with more. The Uncle Henry Show continues after the break.
From the Spring Hill Toyota Traffic Center.
Heavy congestion west on I-10. Crews remain on the scene of a crash at the Melbus exit. All traffic on I-10 West is being diverted to the Melbus exit. Watch for an accident, Fairfield Drive at North V Street in Pensacola. I'm Lisa Baque. Follow us on X, Total Traffic Gulf Coast.
This report is sponsored by all.
And YouTube viewers, thank you. If you are watching on YouTube, thank you very much for looking at the Uncle Henry Show on YouTube. I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please do. That would be a nice thing you could do for me that wouldn't cost you nothing. And let me take a look. Who do we have watching on YouTube that I can see? The only way I can really see is by looking at the comments. Let's see. Richard Harvey, the Coast Guard wife, is watching. By the way, Happy New Year, Richard Harvey. Bama Big Man, the Coast Guard wife. As your and two-time, I don't know who that is or what that is. Sharon of Fairhope. Chuck, thank you, Chuck, for bringing your maturity to this chat room. Ben Griffin looking in. 68-year-old Chris of West Loxley with his new hip. KP of shirtbutter.com. Larry Morting, Excalibur One Force. JD, John Daniel. Thank you all for looking in. And anybody, Bill Odell, I saw him earlier. Tarzan. Thank you all for looking in on the YouTube. I appreciate it very, very much. I hope you had a wonderful time doing whatever it was that you did over the past week and a half that I've been missing. It was good. It was positive to be missing for a while. It really was. During the work year, weeks go by in a flash to me. They just go by that fast. I mean, just the days just click by so fast. You start in 1 month, you end up 2 months later. You know. But when I was off from Christmas Eve to today, I feel like I've been gone for like 6 weeks. Yes, it's interesting, isn't it? Not really to you, but it is to me. Let's see, we've got a caller holding. I'm looking forward to hearing whoever it is, whatever they got. It really doesn't matter at this point in my career. It doesn't matter what they say. But I'm semi-curious about what it might be. What can I tell you about Pat Nelly? Good to see Pat Nelly in the YouTube chat. Now, what can I tell you about while waiting to go back on the radio? Let's see, today is January 5th, 12th day of Christmas, 12th night. And so right now, I guess, the RSA Tower has been lit up in Mardi Gras colors. The city of Mobile had a big Mardi Gras season kickoff down on St. Louis Street this evening. I'm sure it's still going on. So we got all that going on. The beginning of Mardi Gras season was at sundown. So here we are. It's also National Keto Day. And at the same time that it's National Keto Day, it's also National Whipped Cream Day. Whoever comes up with these days, they've got to have a life where they don't have to depend on income. Would you think? Wouldn't you think? Either that or they work for a corporation that's trying to get some special day created for their whipped topping. Oh, back on the radio.
Gonna Walk podcast. Step with us into the world of music. I bring you up-close conversations with new and legendary musicians. For one of the best music interview podcasts, listen to Taking a Walk on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Roll Tide. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
The Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Telephone number 251-479-2723. It is 5:20. We have news headlines coming up in 10 minutes. And I've already got a caller waiting to talk here. This will be, I guess, my first live caller of 2026. Hello, caller.
Hi.
Hey, you are live on the radio.
Hi, did you say you were going to try to control your tongue during football games?
Yes, I am. I want to control what I say when the football games are on. I need to do a better job of it.
Control your tongue? What are you and the new wife doing during those games?
Hey! You leave my wife out of this! You keep my wife out of your sickening mind, you freak! Look, I hate to, look, I know it's the first dadgum show back. first call of the year. The first call I get is from a freak. Well, that's where we are. That's where we are in our modern culture in America. You know that it's true. You've seen it. You see it yourself. That's where we are in the modern culture of America. The freaks reign supreme. What happened when they went down there and got that Madero guy? Did you notice that the freaks immediately went into the streets? The freaks up there, they had, how many hours went by before freaks were protesting? Isn't that amazing that the United States can do something? And then immediately the sleaze bags and the freaks, they're deployed. I don't know if there's like just a giant group of freaks you can rent. They just have them in a warehouse somewhere, in a barracks, some giant barracks, and they say, "Hey, Trump did something. Get on the bus. We're gonna go have a protest." Freaks. But that's where we are. I guess I need to. You know what? I need to make us. I'm working on a New Year's resolution. I'm bumping down the control. My original resolution was control my tongue while watching college football. I'm now going to bump that down to be a secondary resolution, and I'm going to come up with a new one about dealing with these callers that call in that are just quite obviously freaks, obviously sleazebags. I don't know exactly how I'm going to have to think about it tonight and pray about it. Of course, I want to pray for the freaks that they be delivered from their freakdom and accept Jesus as their personal Savior, and then stop sinning on the phone to my show. I want to pray for that to happen, but at the same time, I do want to have some self-defense and figure out is there a way to strike back at the freak to not only alter the behavior of the freak, but also affect all the other freaks that may be watching and listening to the original freak and wanting to emulate the freak. So I've got to figure out a way to strike back at the freak in a way that is even harder than the freak struck at me. So I'm just, look, I'm working on this. I haven't figured it out yet because you've just heard it happen in my life. And if you're an old talk show listener that like the old talk shows where people would call in and talk about their water bill, or they don't like the way the mayor parts his hair, or whatever it is that would call the show. I know you don't like this reality show aspect of me living my life right here with you, but I can't help it. It happened. You heard it happen. It was a crime. Somebody implying that I'm doing something with my tongue and mentioning my bride. It's sick. And I'm going to strike these people. But I'll have to figure it out. This will require prayer and possibly training. All right, where were we? 251-479-2723, the telephone number here on the Uncle Henry Show. I mentioned the freaks that went into the streets. As soon as Maduro was captured, here's a bunch of people. Somehow they got the flags. They got the flags. Do the weirdos in our country just have a collection of international flags that anytime there's something going on, they can go into some closet and pull out the appropriate flag and then run out and show solidarity with freaks? But on this Maduro thing, they took him to court this morning, for him and his wife, for an arraignment. And I was looking at the coverage of the Maduro arraignment this afternoon. I was looking at different news articles that were on the internet. I know you're probably very much aware of the internet. I was looking on there, and something was really bothering me. And I was looking at Maduro in court, standing there next to his wife in court, and I realized I was looking at a cartoon drawing that I was having. It's 2026! And they say that artificial intelligence may take everybody's job. It's 2026, and I'm looking at a drawing because federal courts will not allow a camera in there. What on earth is this about? That we've got to hire these cartoonists, these people, these illustrators with the one person, and I was looking at this drawing and I was noticing the artwork on like the bailiff's shirt. And I thought, wait, what am I looking at? Why am I not looking at a picture? Look, I understand in a big federal trial, you don't want to show a jury. You don't want to show a jury. There are some witnesses you don't want to show, whether they're minors or there's a possibility they could be retaliated against. I understand that. But other than the jury and maybe some of the witnesses, this stuff ought to be on camera. Don't tell me that you're worried that every courtroom is going to turn into a circus because there's a camera in there. Because we got camera. If that's true, take the cameras out of Congress. Take the cameras out of the Senate and the House. Because that's all that is a circus. No, as a tax-paying citizen of the United States, I want transparency. And if they can't have a camera in there, there should be live audio of federal trials. We should at least be able to hear it. It's 2026. They got somebody doing a cartoon drawing of this. This is a world leader who used to be a world leader. Dictator. Why can't we hear it? What do they think's going to happen if people see it or hear it that hadn't already happened? I don't buy this. I don't buy all the reasoning behind keeping cameras and audio out of federal courts. It's absolutely ridiculous. You're telling me that we can't have cameras, we can't have audio, live broadcasts of this because it's going to turn the courtroom into a circus. And the lawyers are going to be performing more for the camera. The judges are going to perform. I don't care. They do it in Congress. If you can't have the cameras in the courtrooms, get them out of Congress. I'm sick of them performing up there. All they do is put on a show in the Congress. It's time to end the practice of courtroom artists.
In Pensacola, watch for a crash with road blockage on Pine Forest Road at West Detroit Boulevard. Still slow on westbound I-10. Crews have been on the scene of an accident at the Melbus exit. They are diverting all the traffic to that exit. That's at milepost 38 on westbound I-10. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by Aleve. Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches and pains hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
Mobile's News Radio, 710 WNTM.
Hello, I'm Cameron Taylor with Fox 10 News. A woman charged with attempted murder in a shooting that wounded a police officer appeared for a bond hearing. Now, by law, Ariel Perot and Justin Senia were entitled to bail. The judge set a total bail of $3.1 million for each suspect. A 911 call of shots fired brought police to a house on Tuscaloosa Street in Midtown Mobile. According to police, Senia and Perot were barricaded inside the home. Gunfire erupted from inside, critically wounding one officer. 2 others suffered injuries in a crash while responding. Each suspect facing 12 counts of attempted murder, each count representing a different police officer. Sims police say a police officer was grazed by a gunshot, and the accused shooter was sent to a hospital after a Sunday morning shooting at a Sims auto shop. Police say officers were on routine when an open door was discovered at Bowman's Auto Air, a business on Moffett Road. Police went inside to investigate and then saw movement inside a camper that was inside the building. Now, after police announced their presence, the chief said a man opened the door to the trailer and started shooting at the officers. We're told the officers returned fire and hit the man 5 times. The suspect, Johnny Bowman Jr., was taken to a hospital. Creole police say Jared Williams was arrested and charged related to the shooting incident at the Raceway gas station. Now, jail records show Williams was charged with 2 counts of discharging a gun into a building and reckless endangerment. I'm Cameron Taylor with Fox 10 News on this iHeartRadio station.
This is News Radio 710, WNTM.
Fox News, I'm John Saucier. Secretary Vorpete Hegses says the United States is reestablishing deterrence against international opposition. The most recent example, the military operation in Venezuela over the weekend.
Nearly 200 of our greatest Americans went downtown in Caracas. Seems those Russian air defenses didn't quite work so well, did they? Downtown Caracas and grabbed an indicted individual wanted by American justice in support of law enforcement without a single American killed.
That individual is Nicolas Maduro, former president who's now charged with conspiracy and narco-terrorism, among other charges. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says, yeah, Maduro's a bad guy, but it's not President Trump's job to bring about a regime change.
The future of the Venezuelan people should be determined by the Venezuelan people.
He says the Trump administration did not consult with Congress. America's listening to Fox News.
As we start, YouTube viewers, thank you for looking. If you're still watching on YouTube, I appreciate that very, very much. See, what can I tell you? Got a caller waiting to go when we go back on the radio, so that's good. Good for the listener. Now, what can I tell you? Today was also today was Bird Day. National Bird Day. Now think about it. It's not any specific bird. And no, I'm not talking about the middle finger. That would be Bird Day in Irvington. I'm talking about National Bird Day. Bird Day. I guess birds have other things to worry about. They don't care about being lumped together into just being a bird. Also, a lot of people starting dry January. Are you starting dry January? Probably more difficult on the Gulf Coast to do a dry January because of Mardi Gras intruding. I think the first Mobile County Mardi Gras parade of the year is going to be in 12 days on Dauphin Island. So we are less than 2 weeks away from the first parade. But dry January. If people participating in Mardi Gras did dry January, would they like Mardi Gras anymore? I don't know the answer to that. I'm just pondering.
Our time to act. Weekday mornings at 8. Now it's our time to do what we're supposed to do on WNTM.
The Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Thank you. Appreciate you listening to the Uncle Henry Show. Also on YouTube, look for the Uncle Henry Show on YouTube. Just look for Uncle Henry Show, and there it is. You can also hear me on FM radio Monday through Friday from 10 to 2 on 95 KSJ, playing today's hottest country. Telephone number 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Email address unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. Hello, caller.
Hey, Uncle Henry, how you doing?
Snake Trevor, how were your holidays?
Uncle Henry, they were wonderful, man. My daughter got me a bunch of the exotic beef jerkies from Buffalo Bob's. Man, there's all kind of stuff. Wild boar, turkey, there's emu, alligator, wild boar, antelope. I mean, it gets me a whole box of them every year, Uncle Henry, and they last me a little while, man. I love beef jerky, and she knows it, and she knows I like all kind of different exotic meats. So last year I took a picture of them and actually posted them online, man. But she knows what I like, Uncle Henry.
Hey, now before you get to your main topic, just one quick follow-up on the beef, on the jerkies, the exotic jerkies. Of all the exotic animal flesh that has been turned into jerky for you, which do you like the most?
Uncle Henry, that alligator's pretty good, man.
Okay.
They all taste kind of similar. If you didn't know which one you had, you wouldn't be able to tell. I mean, beef jerky it's all real similar to the same. But man, the alligator, the way they season it's really good, man.
Okay. Now,
yeah, she knows what I like, Uncle Henry.
the real reason for your call.
Uncle Henry, you don't never guess what happened to me this morning on my commute to work. I leave my house a little bit before 6, and everybody in Mobile knows that at that time of day, it's still dark outside. Just as I pulled out of my neighborhood, Uncle Henry, there was about a middle-aged possum sitting right in the middle of or standing right in the middle of the road. And I pull up within about 10 feet of him. Don't wait for him to get out of the road. And, I guess the headlights kind of had him stunned. He stood up on his 2 back feet. And I just lightly hit my horn to try to get him to move on. Uncle Henry, you'd have thought I shot that thing with some double-aught buckshot the way he flopped over. And I'm telling you, he went into that self-induced trance, or it's actually a self-induced coma that they go into. And sometimes it takes them as much as 20 minutes to come out of that coma.
Yeah.
So, I just kind of throwed my hands in there, and I wasn't going to go around him and all because, like I said, he could have laid there for 20 minutes. So I got out of my truck, man, and picked him up and put him off about 8 or 10 feet off the side of the road. But I'd just like to tell people out there in radio land, if you happen to see one laying in the road and you can tell it's not been squished or nothing, try not to hit it with your wheels because it's a chance it could be in that self-induced coma. It's a real thing, Uncle Henry. I know you probably heard people talking about playing possum, but their body.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt, but yeah, I told the story on the air a few years ago. One of my dogs caught a possum. I thought the dog had killed the possum, and I had a close-up view of a possum playing possum. I left it. I said, well, I'm going to bury this possum, but first I got to get the dogs inside and get them taken care of and everything. That possum was gone in a couple of hours. It just got up and left.
Oh, yes, sir. They could be in that coma for up to 20, 25 minutes. And like I said, man, I knew for certain this one wasn't dead. But when I picked him up, their body temperature's low anyway. So they actually even feel like they did. Now, he wasn't dead or nothing like that. But had anybody come across him, they would have thought he was dead. And I didn't see him laying there when I came home from work this evening. So he got up and wandered off. So, if you see them laying in the road, just avoid them because it could be a good chance, a small chance that they got startled and, waiting out that 20 minutes of that coma they're going to be in.
All right, but you learned that you can startle a possum using a car horn into playing possum.
Yes, sir. That loud noise, I guess the headlights had him kind of stunned on, didn't know what was going on. And like I said, man, It literally looked like you shot him with a shotgun. I mean, he just kind of jolted back and flopped over, mouth wide open. I mean, he had some gnarly teeth. And then, like I said, when I picked him up, if I hadn't have seen him actually go into that coma, Henry, I would have thought it was dead because, like I said, it was cold. The only way I could tell it wasn't dead is it had, it wasn't still. But yes, sir. I mean, you can't tell they're not dead. That's for sure.
All right. Well, Snake Trapper, thank you for telling us that story.
Yes, sir, Uncle Henry. You have a good day, buddy.
You too. Thank you, Snake Trapper. I appreciate that very, very much. 251-479-2723, the telephone number. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. That's unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. Now, let's see. I do have some voicemail that arrived over the long Well, it was long to me, the time I took off for Christmas and the New Year. Voicemail number is 251-216-1976. That's 251-216-1976. I got a message right at the end, or right toward the end, of the Alabama-Indiana game. And so I'm going to play that voicemail so I can get it out of my way and get it out of the system.
Roll Tide, Uncle. Well, Uncle, we're at the 2-minute timeout of this debacle I've been observing, and I'm sure you have also. Mrs. Loxley suggested I turn off the TV. I said, no. We sink or swim with the tide. I think things will improve. There are some obvious changes that are going to have to be made. Coaching personnel, that is. I can think of one for sure, and that's a new offensive line coach. And perhaps, I know Grubbs is buddy. I believe I'd have to be looking for me an offensive coordinator or get him to change his philosophy, because he got fired after 1 year in the NFL. Why? Because the head man wanted to run the football more there at Seattle. So, obviously, he don't know much about the running game. He knows the trick plays. Of course, Gus Malzahn knows trick plays. Anyhow, we'll chew on this more later on down the road. I'll say this. It's been an entertaining, at times, season. Roll Tide till we die. Roll Tide, roll.
Roll Tide, roll. 68-year-old Chris of West Loxley, thank you for calling the Uncle Henry Show and leaving voicemails over the break. Again, the voicemail number 251-216-1976. That's 251-216-1976 to leave a message for the Uncle Henry Show. Now, you watch the entire game because you say it's sink or swim with the tide. But I'll tell you this, the result of the game, and I mentioned earlier in the show that I used some foul language when I was watching the game, and I frightened my dog. My dog was very afraid of my outbursts during the Alabama-Indiana game. But it disgusted me so much. How much did it disgust me? The Alabama-Indiana game disgusted me so much, I did not watch Ole Miss, Georgia. I did not. I've not watched it yet. I think I am going to watch it because, yes, I'm that type of person that would watch a game that you know how it already turns out. But I couldn't bear to watch anymore. I couldn't bear to watch any more football that particular day. But I tell you, the one thing I did enjoy, you think about how the kind of seasons that Alabama has had since hiring Nick Saban especially, I enjoyed seeing all of the other people in the country just being so glad that Alabama was knocked out. I took that as a compliment. That they were so tired of Alabama winning, they just were thrilled.
If you're traveling in Crestview, watch for an accident, Old Bethel Road at Highway 90. Crews remain on the scene of a crash westbound on I-10 approaching the Melbus exit. All traffic on I-10 West is being diverted to the Melbus exit. Watch for an accident, Pine Forest Road at West Detroit Boulevard. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by...
All right, YouTube viewers, thank you for watching on YouTube. I appreciate it very, very much. Let's see. Hello to PRH115. Thank you for looking in on the program. Please subscribe if you can. Now let me look for some weird news for you. I haven't looked at the weird news file since 2025. I'm sure there's lots of great weird news that I haven't even seen yet. Actually, the regular news is weird enough. Okay, this is you've heard of heteroblankuality and other blankualities. You got your heteroblankuality, you've got the I don't want to specify the other blankualities, but you know what I'm talking about. Heteroblankuality, where there's a new blankuality that Cosmopolitan magazine is pushing because they're filth. They are, and they're proud of it. The new blankuality that is now being introduced and pushed by Cosmopolitan magazine is ficto, F-I-C-T-O, ficto blankuality. Now, ficto blankuality is when you are drawn emotionally, romantically, and blankually to fictional characters more than you are drawn to people in real life. So they're giving people they're creating a new mental illness for us to start the new year. Let's start a new year with a new mental illness. Cosmopolitan. They got some a lady named Rebecca Miner, who is a therapist and a gender specialist. And she's the expert that's helping define ficto-blankuality. People who are blankually attracted to fictional characters more than they are real characters, real people. So a new mental illness. Now, they've got a name for it, but I heard about this years ago. Years ago, I was forced to listen to a radio show on Mix 99.9, and it was the Delilah Show. And it's a show that's on at night where people call in and they'll ask Delilah to dedicate a song to this person or that person, and then Delilah will play, Journey, Open Arms, or some other garbage. Well, I heard somebody called in, some man called in, and he told Delilah that he had fallen in love with Xena, the warrior princess that was on TV. I don't know if you remember Xena, the warrior princess. I don't believe I ever watched an episode of Xena, the warrior princess, but apparently she was quite fetching. And so Delilah, on her national radio show, said, okay, yeah, let's play some Journey. And we dedicate this to all the people that are in love with fictional characters. Mental illness. It's too bad we can't make money as a nation off of it somehow. Could we export it to other countries and make money off of it?
News Radio 710, WNTM, an iHeart radio station.
The Uncle Henry Show, News Radio 710, WNTM. It's 5:50. We have news headlines coming up in 10 minutes. There's more Uncle Henry Show coming up after 6 o'clock. I'm going to talk to local filmmaker John Miller. John Miller is coming out with a brand new movie this Sunday at the Crescent Theater in downtown Mobile. It is a family-friendly movie, The Puppets of Oz. And I'm one of the voices. Yes, he let me be one of the voices of one of the puppets in there. So we're going to talk about his new movie coming up after 6 o'clock here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Let's see, we have some callers here. Hello, caller.
Hey, Henry, it's me.
Yes, it's you. You are live on the radio.
Well, happy 2026 to you and all of the Uncle Henry listeners and viewers on YouTube.
Oh, happy 2026 to you too, Steve.
Yeah, man. Been a couple of weeks since I've been able to call. I've been watching a lot on the YouTube and everything, and just leaving comments and all that stuff. But right now we are actually watching the YouTube as well as calling in live because I've already made it to the house. It's unfortunate right now, this time of year, when you first start to come on and everything, it's getting dark, and they cut the AM signal, and I have a lot of trouble sometimes on my way home picking up a clear signal, but that here in a month or two, that's going to be over and done with because it has to do with whenever it gets dark, they cut the AM signal.
That's right. It's AM. I don't know all the science behind it, but if you don't, for whatever reason, AM radio signals, they'll go all over the continent if you don't monitor it, and all the AM radio signals will cancel each other out. I mean, and I know you've probably heard some AM radio stations you can listen in Mobile to stations out of St. Louis, Chicago, Little Rock, Arkansas, Atlanta. So that's why they make us cut the power, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's how Wolfman Jack got famous. He was down in Mexico, and his signal was making it to all these cities along the all the way up into the United States of America. His bandit signal, and that's how he got famous.
Yep.
But yeah, we're living in a very, very crazy world right now. But I'm glad to see that Donald Trump went in and the military went in there and just snatched Maduro out of his bed in the middle of the night. That has to be the shortest war from beginning to completion ever in the history, because I do believe that whoever is running the place now, they're going to be compliant. They might not be compliant when the cameras are rolling right then and there, but I think they're going to be compliant when the cameras are off. And I think the gas price is going to go way, way, way down with a lot of this free Venezuelan oil that we're about to get in this country.
Well, that would be a nice side effect.
Well, it's going to be a side effect because, I don't think that Donald Trump is playing around with anybody anymore, and I think that he let 2025 be the year everybody gets their hissy fit and sticks their little chest out and say, well, I'm not going to do that, and not going to comply and this, that, and the third, and then now 2026 is when the hammer comes down. Because it takes a long time to build a case, and there's a lot of cases to build.
There are plenty, aren't there?
Oh yeah, and people have been criticizing. Why hadn't anybody get arrested? Why hadn't anybody? Do you know how long it took to take down that John Gotti? It took years and case after case after case, and he kept walking. It sometimes takes decades to take down criminals, and the bigger the criminal, sometimes the longer it takes. So, some of these people may die before they ever see justice. It's an unfortunate thing, but there's a lot of light being shed on a lot of shady people right now.
Yes,
and I think some folks are going to get arrested very, very soon.
Well, I don't know if they will or not. I hope they do. But you're right. We're learning more and more as each day goes by of nefarious things being done in this country by people allegedly representing us.
The other part about it is if they don't get it in front of the proper jury and the proper judge, it'll just get thrown out of court. It doesn't matter what they do. It just depends on what side of the fence they're on.
Mm-hmm.
And that right to me is the biggest problem that we've had is anytime something, okay, we got this case is lock, stock, and barrel, and we got them dead to rights, and then they go in there and this leftist judge just says, nope, case dismissed, sorry, and it's like, okay, well, how do you fight that? What do you do to fight that? That's
exactly. Hey, Steve, I'm up on the break. I got to run.
Take care, buddy.
YouTube, thank you, Steve. Good to hear from Steve. You can find him on YouTube. Make It Stick. Make It Stick on YouTube. All right, we have news headlines coming up, and then I'm going to talk to John Miller about his new movie.
It's Fox Wheels.
Satellite internet is coming to your car soon as Tesla gets the green light from the FCC to use.
YouTube viewers, thank you for watching on YouTube. I have more show coming up on News Radio 710 WNTM and on the iHeartRadio app, a conversation with John Miller. But the camera is getting turned off. I will be back tomorrow at the regular time. Thank you for looking. It was good to see you again.
Expanding its autonomous service beyond surface streets, where there may still be some issues to work out after a Waymo ride in Hollywood took a wrong turn, past road flares, and into an active fire scene, possibly with a passenger on board. We're told the driverless car stayed inside the blocked area for about 10 minutes before it made a U-turn and drove away. That's Fox Wheels. I'm Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
The United States military, they're obligated not to follow an illegal order. Yeah, they know. It's like putting out a PSA, like, don't murder people. We knew that before.
Clay and Buck, weekdays at 11 on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Hey, Uncle Henry here, and I've got two people with me who know how to help you make sense of your money.